Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Underground stream. Today, we're also streaming on X for the first time. I wanted to give this a shot as well. But we usually cover some pretty crazy things on the Friday Underground streams. But we're going to be hitting some cool topics as well. We're going to cover the TV series Shogun, which is episodes have been dropping weekly now. 3 of them have been dropped so far. Amazing stuff with the what's his name, Hiro Sanada. Awesome Japanese actor. He's been in the the newest Mortal Kombat movie. He's been on Lost, a bunch of different movies and shows, and he's the main character of the series, which is based off of a novel, which they did. Was it a TV series? Back in like the 80s.
Yeah, it was a miniseries on back in 1980. Richard Chamberlain.
Nice.
I had the VHS tapes, and I'm starting to question their legitimacy.
Well, we're going to be covering some of that. We're going to hit a little bit of like the Gargoyles discussion. We're going to get into that because back before Disney was pure poison. One of the last good series from really amazing creator. So we're going to I want to get into those conversations a bit too, and maybe even break down some episodes. But I want to do it when the panel's a little bit more full as well, and more people are kind of refreshed on it. But some of the topics we'll hit. Of course, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, who also passed away recently.
Another coincidence claims another one.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, but we'll get more into that again on the second half of the stream when we're not on YouTube. Right now, we're also on YouTube. So, and Rumble. So, yes, hello to everyone out there. Akira Toriyama. That's the Dragon Ball guy who passed away. And from what I heard too, not only was he an amazing creator, but he actually did help out a bunch of artists as well. And through the years and whatnot. So, sending good thoughts to his family and everything, because that's some rough stuff out there. As you see, we're inching closer with the Doomsday Clock. We'll hit a little bit of that as well later.
Oh, God.
We're living in a crazy world. But let me say hello to my panelists real quick. Of course, we have the lovely and always awesome Tina Bojan. How you doing, Tina?
I'm doing great. So glad it's Fridays. So glad to be here hanging with you guys. Honestly, highlight of my week, I tell you. Because now I know it's just puppy hugs and TV watching for the rest of the day after we hang with you.
That's right. She has a new puppy. She's not hugging us, fellas. No, and that is that's incredible. Yeah, you do have a really adorable puppy. I'm happy for that, and happy to have you as always. Of course, we have the legend, Chris Fisk, in the house as well. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. Glad it's the end of the week. Finally got my taxes out of the way, and boy, does my ass hurt.
Oh, jeez. That's. I think that's everybody.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm glad it's taken care of. I mean, there's still shit I'm juggling with too. I'm going to see the tax guy on Monday, so.
I never realized how stressful that would be, like I'm going in, I'm like, oh God, how much is it going to cost me? Like,
oh yeah. And especially if you've been hurting this year as well, then it's not just the hurt, it's the embarrassment.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, your company's doing that. Are you sure you want to keep it? Or my favorite is when the accountant goes, after 5 years, if you don't turn a profit, the IRS refers to it as a hobby, and you can no longer claim any losses on your taxes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, thanks for telling me. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
It's always uplifting. For me, I get frustrated because this will be the second year that we're filing with only half the income from a couple of years previous, and we still don't get any more money back from the government. It's like, God damn it!
Of course not.
Why am I working so hard?
We know that
Yeah.
it's rigged so the politicians stay rich and we stay poor. That's how they've been rolling. It's really dirty. In fact, I saw a guy who was he was going on a couple of big platforms saying, "Why should we pay taxes?"
Welcome. I've been saying this for a while. It's called theft.
Yeah, and it's funny. He's been making the rounds on a bunch of big channels. So we might cover that soon as well. But we also have Tolbat in the house. He's our resident lizard person. How you doing,
Hello.
buddy?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me.
Dude, it's awesome to have you. I hope everything's been treating you well lately.
Things have been going okay. I've been rather busy. I am glad the primary season in my state is over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's election season. Woo! More craziness.
We get to host the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. That should be a shit show.
Oh
yeah, that'll be a nightmare. Before we get into the
I have a request real quick for all of Chicago. If we could have a impromptu Devil's Night.
Yeah. Look on, boys.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh wait, we got a message from Alex Jones himself.
All I know is psychopaths operate. They're not human. I don't like them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Alex. Jeez. Yeah, don't forget, man. That's that man. He's on X and he's been making the rounds, and it's great. Him and Tucker, they kind of crushed it last night as well. They did some a little bit of live X right after the State of the Union, and that was pretty amazing and uplifting. Jones was really he was giving it to the folks. And
that was so painful to watch, dude. That guy was stumbling. Like, his biggest foe that night was the teleprompter.
Of course, and they had him practicing for ages.
So bad.
Yeah, it's all bad, but we'll get more into that in the second half. Let me say a quick hello to everyone out there. First one in tonight was Toy Mafia. How you doing, man? Great seeing you. We had Lurch out there. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why the link wasn't working on Twitter, and I couldn't seem to find you on Facebook stuff. So I'm not on there much to begin with. So. But yeah, if we could figure it out, we'll get you back on again soon. Or if someone else has a link, they could definitely drop it to you. Iceman Modeler, what's up, buddy? I love this dude because he's always destroying the AI stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny, 2 AI programs are like suing each other, the companies for it.
That's hilarious.
These things, it's all about theft on artists and photographers.
Sweet irony.
Yeah, and they're like, you're using our prompts, and it's having similar results, and no, that's not legal. And oh, really? They're all
not okay.
And we're all
friggin' frogs gay.
That's right. So it's a crazy world, man. It's definitely crazy, but it is funny. Oh no, they're fighting. Oh no.
Yeah. Let them fight.
Right? Let them fight. Tollbat was saying hello to everyone out there. And again, yeah, we are in Rumble as well. I should actually pull that up just in case. For some reason, they don't show when the super chats come in on StreamYard. But I gotta pull that one up.
That's a great one to put on the screen. I appreciate that.
Which one?
The one you're currently showing. Me so horny.
Oh.
Me love you long time.
Me love you long time.
Yeah. Well, these things happen. Hold on. Let me make sure my double click was working again here. Yay, broken mouse. How do I get the work done that I get done? I have no idea. Because we do have another fantastic project out there, by the way, folks.
Someone say me so horny.
Yeah, me so horny.
Me love you long time. Me so horny. Me so horny.
We got Ping Ping Poo
me
here.
So horny. Me love you long time. Thank you, Joe. I love you. I send more money. Keep fucking up. You're doing great.
No,
Oh,
never
man.
for so brother. Tu beaucoup.
I sent her to some girls. Bye.
Some young ho. Oh, geez. Dude, thank you for always being awesome. But yeah, we got Tommy out there in the chat as well. What's up, brother? I don't know if he'll be able to come in or not. I know he's been having some problems again. He started to get the internet working fine, and then like those storms kind of screwed things up again. Yeah, at CenturyLink. Geez, what a terrible, terrible internet company. But yeah, we got Sporking's in the house as well. What's up, man? Always good
Hey.
seeing you, Scott. Hope all is going well in your neighborhood. Yeah, if you are free and you want to pop in at some time, just let me know too. Yeah, we normally stream on Fridays and Sundays, and yeah, we're gonna be back this Sunday. Last week we were watching the last of or the final match for Sting. That was an interesting event over on Draven's channel. Yeah, we also had Godzillionaire in the house. Gargoyles was legit. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. That was a solid show. Actually, we caught a couple of episodes on our gaming night. We did a little bit of gaming, and then we ended up watching a couple episodes, and it was great and refreshing to see those again. We watched like the first 4 episodes. I know Adam and myself, we actually did. We got up to I think like 7 episodes or 8 episodes. Again, beautiful series, and yeah, we're gonna start to get into that too, kind of like a retro conversation and whatnot, because I want to give props to the good stuff out there. Yeah, Soul Assassin Eagles, a woman on stream. Does Tommy know about this? Oh yeah, didn't they say it's like National Make a Sandwich Day or something?
That was yesterday, International Women Are Subjugated Day. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Isn't
there
everybody
like
go
a whole? Oh, sorry.
check your hubcaps. Check your
Yeah.
hubcaps. I'm saying check your rims.
Amazing stuff out there. No, we love the ladies. Some of us love the ladies too much, and we get in trouble for it. And others, they don't know what they're doing, and women stomp all over them. And then there's some people who pay for that sort of thing.
Yeah. So what I don't get is like, so what is it? It's International Women's Day or whatever. Okay.
Correct.
Why would anybody care if we don't also celebrate the other sex? Like, I'm all for it. Like, good on you, ladies. But like, it's always the same story. March, it's this big. Like, I think March is also like Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
Chris, you want to celebrate shrooms?
Wait, that's the other sex? Like,
See,
I'm kidding.
It is really funny that I think a lot of these days either need to be updated or need, like, I don't know, a new ad campaign or something. Because I mean, I'll say the same thing that I say whenever we're talking about equality between genders and whatnot. When I was a programmer in the early 1990s, I was the only woman in the room. And yes, I was not respected by men that were 25, 30 years my age. But you know what? I was just a bright, smart ass who came out of college. So maybe I didn't deserve the respect. And it might not be related to my gender. However, all of a sudden today, everyone is still crying over there being inequity in genders. And it's not the same.
no.
These girls are not going through what I went through in the 90s.
No.
I didn't go through what my mother and her friends in the 60s and 70s went through. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's an evolution. I'm sure that we should maybe be saying, hey, on International Women's Day, don't let me go out there and thank a woman. Let me think about, okay, where can I contribute some money or some time to an organization that is helping women in the countries where they truly are suppressed?
Yes. When
Maybe
I
we
see
could.
videos, oh, sorry. Somebody.
No,
was
you
saying-
go. You go ahead.
Oh,
Chris.
look, when I see videos or stories of like, 7-year-old Iranian girl that was, deleted by her dad because she made a TikTok video without her, I don't know, her bed sheet on her head or whatever. It's like, hello, feminists, hello. You hear the crickets or whatever, or like the women that are like, after. Our illustrious installed president like pulls out of Afghanistan, and all of the women that were left behind, are now pushed back into the medieval times. And it's like, hello, like anybody? Like, nope, nothing. But the moment like some freaking fat bitch who like didn't like a guy, or somebody said something she didn't like, suddenly it's like I'm oppressed, and it's like you don't know what real oppression is. And like you were mentioning, like there was some sick stuff that happened 40, 50 years ago where it was like a woman has to have her husband's permission to open a bank account or whatever. And it's like, well, what if I'm not married? But like that's like that was barely if it even happened in my lifetime, and I'm an old piece of shit. So it's like, what about the more recent stuff? There's a lot of stuff that's happening right now that we need to tackle. And they're like, oh, well, stop mansplaining, stop manspreading or whatever. And I'm like,
but you know what it comes down to as well, and this is what they've been doing across the board. They're doing it with race, with sex,
all the divisive,
that's all it's about, right? Because they've wanted men and women to fight like cats and dogs as well, and everyone goes kind of in their own neutral corner. The way they designed everything between the phone stuff, we've talked about this too. Like more and more younger people, they're afraid to meet in person or talk in person or hang out like that. It's all through devices. It's all distancing because they don't want people to get together. They don't want a bigger population. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing across the board and stuff.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say, there'd be more men to appreciate women and treat women good if we could teach this generation of little boy girls to actually act like men and stop trying to be women, so that we can appreciate women for what they are.
Exactly.
Let's get dads and back into the house.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. Men and women
need to appreciate testosterone to appreciate estrogen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a yin and a yang for a reason.
For sure. There's both along those lines. I mean, we complement each other. That's the reason why we were all made together like that. We're
supposed to compete.
There's strengths and weaknesses for a reason, and people are supposed to get together and actually form a proper society. And there's a lot of folks who seem to forget that, and they get brainwashed by what the powers that be tell them to do, or how they brainwash them into living a certain way. Like Tina was just saying before, every generation's a little bit different, and we've all had our different struggles and different things that we're going through, and why. It's kind of, it comes down to who's dictating what society should be and where it's going and all that sort of thing, It's definitely crazy. Let me finish saying hello to the folks out there real quick. We also have Brutal Morningwood in the house too. How you doing, buddy?
There ain't nothing wrong with my yang.
But his yin is hanging a little low.
Yeah, the yin could use a little work. The yang, still good.
The yang's all the way up. It's brutal. But I was saying hello to the folks out there. Lurch, he's out there. Iceman Modeler, Tommy's out there. I thought I saw. Where the hell did he go?
Yeah, Tommy's out there with a super chat.
Oh, is he? Hold on.
Oh yeah.
My damn. I got caught up here because I'm looking.
Please stand by.
Please stand by.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
4 different windows right now. Nelson's out there too. How you doing, buddy? Good seeing you, man. I'm missing a lot of comments here for some reason. I don't know if there's a glitch going on here, but
you do better than I do. I miss about 3/4 of them.
Yeah. So there's Tommy with the $5 super chat. Diversity, equity, equality. The tagline of the unqualified, uninspiring, unintelligent complainers. This is 100% true, brother. And because we have the $5 super chat, we're going to play the super chat bumper for everyone. And I know everybody loves this one. This is John Cena taking the egg roll.
金钱看齐，墙上写着秦香莲的32岁了，装个当朝驸马郎的气质王啊，满皇上的会2岁了，装个当朝。
你好，中国，叫西娜。我必须说，现在我有一个错误，我必须说，现在就是很重要。我爱更严重，中国更中国。我很抱歉，对我的错误，对不起，我很抱歉。 多好意思，再见。
So
情况。
there's John Cena, the trader. Nelson, you have a link too, buddy, if you do want to pop in. But yeah, man, it's crazy stuff out there, crazy world. But the second half, we'll get a little more into what's going on with the madness of the world.
And Cortami didn't complete the listing of issues. It's not just diversity, equity, inclusion anymore. It's diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and accessibility.
What
There's
the?
now 5 points to the DIE initiative.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep adding letters to it.
Yeah, aren't they? Letters, numbers, characters. It's ridiculous. But
Ampersand, puppy, kitty.
Yeah,
Squid.
the saves himself.
yeah, it's all insanity, folks. It really is. I did have a new bumper I wanted to put in here. I gotta remove one. But in the meantime, yes, let's start talking about our topic. Because it's a damn good one. It's a fantastic series. Chris, I don't know if you want to start off with this one with Shogun, but powerful series so far. Loving what they're doing. But yeah, you gave a pretty good breakdown the other day when we were just chatting.
So desu ne. Iro shinjo ni shoni. It's dude, like I loved this series. Like this, I had the original VHS collection of the miniseries Shogun based off the novel back in 1980. This was like when we first had a VCR. This was like the thing that got heavy rotation. This and Ghostbusters. But I'm starting to question the legitimacy of that VHS collection because I can't find it anywhere. Like I own it, but I don't think it was. I think it was kind of like the Etsy of its time, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so Shogun is basically, it's historical fiction, and it follows the Warring States period of Japan, aka Sengoku era, and you're basically looking at these I think it's like 5 warlords that are all trying to kind of claim Japan for themselves after the death of their the original shogun. In historical terms, that would be Oda Nobunaga. But in this fictional world, they actually give him a different name. And in fact, the character that you follow, or the main daimyos are the warlords. Mm-hmm. Daimyo means big name. What they do is they have this fictionalized version of Ieyasu Tokugawa, or Tokugawa Ieyasu, depending on how you want to properly say it. But they call him Toranaga, and it's played here by Sanada. And dude, it's great because they can take historical liberties and twist things and do whatever. But I love how they, like when we were working on the Assassin's Creed stuff, I love how they explore the bigger story. Like, even though there was a warring states period in Japan that was taking place between these warlords, all trying to unify Japan, aka they want to be the king of the mountain. There's actually a bigger meta story going on with the European superpowers at the time. And in this case, it was Spain and Portugal, because they had their armada and the super navies, essentially. Yep. And they had divvied up the world into the Eastern and Western kind of ownership. And there's this thing called the Nanban trade, or Nanban is like barbarian, basically, guns in Japan. And the Europeans' vector into Japan through invading them, basically to subjugate them, was through Christianity. They had the Jesuits. And anybody that knows the historical stuff, they know that the Jesuits didn't really have a good time when Toyotomi, Ieyasu Tokugawa's rival, said, "You know what? I'm ready for a bonfire." But I don't think they get that well into it. But they do kind of show that there was two European superpowers that kind of dominated this meta struggle over control over Japan, and Japan didn't even realize that they were even a pawn in this.
Yeah, that's what was amazing too, because when the main character finds out, Sanada's character, it is pretty epic, because it's basically like the mafia. So you have the other 4 heads of the family there that want to take him out.
Yep.
And they're holding him prisoner right now. So it's like official but unofficial. Like it's almost like they're keeping a show up. This kind of charade, but everyone knows like he's supposed to die. Like he's been brought there because they're going to take him off the board and replace him. And there's going to be the one dude who basically takes over, Ishida, who's supposed to be like, he wants.
So
to
you
be
told
like,
me.
Yeah, he wants to be like, you're supreme ruler there. But it's really cool how they did this. And the second that Sonata's character, he finds out through the Englishman, Blackthorn, he's like, yes, like people don't realize Spain and Portugal, they've already divvied up the world. They're that arrogant, you know, and you're under their rule. And they help do it with, again, the churches. And, it's really cool how this story kind of plays out. And again, it is historical. They've changed a couple of the names here and there for some of the characters. And even between, I think, the novel as well. They changed them a little bit. But that does not hurt the story at all. It does not hurt kind of what's going on. I highly recommend this series. If you guys haven't been watching it, jump on it now. It's on FX. It's on Hulu. It's absolutely amazing. And Hiro Sanada here, this actor, he's the producer as well, and he's wearing like all hats on this series. Impressive. From what I saw too, like in between the scenes, like if he's kind of done for the day, they said one of the episodes he's in full armor doing this incredible speech, and everyone was moved by it. And the second the cameras are done rolling and they're like, okay, there's no more takes, like we're good, we got it, he rips off all of his armor, he puts on his regular street clothes, and he runs across the sets to go produce and make sure everything is in where it's supposed to be in the scene. Everyone's doing their proper stance. Like, it's crazy the amount of detail and the supervision that he gave this entire series. So like, he's making sure that it's going to be one of those shows that's going to be, like a landmark kind of thing. It's back on Japanese history, and just again for film in general, the way that it's shot, every episode's like a movie. The budget, the quality, it's totally up there. And I think they filmed most of this in Canada, I want to say.
Surprise!
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because I get a little the kind of rainy.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Welcome
Chris,
to Osaka, eh?
Yeah, you've lived in Japan. Like, from what you've seen so far in the first 3 episodes, do you think it's pretty accurate weather-wise and everything too? Like the atmosphere that they got?
I when I lived there, it was back in 2013. They have a very warm summer. Like it's like tropical warm, and like I don't know. I would say the weather is probably more comparable to like Northern California than Canada.
That sounds right to me too. Yeah. Because it can get cold, like in the northern mountains on the island. But
it snows in Tokyo. But like it's weird because like the one thing that I noticed that was missing right off the bat is there are cicadas in Japan. Like I got a video of it because like I didn't think anybody would. Yeah, it's this constant, and it doesn't sound like any kind of bug you hear in America. Like it's a very, you're like, okay, I'm clearly not on the North American continent anymore.
Well, they have them here.
I was gonna say we have like 12 different kinds of cicadas in North Carolina.
Yeah, the ones in Japan though, they make a very distinct sound that you don't hear here. Like I've heard
I'd have to go hear them,
they're very like the cicadas I've heard here are just like you're just sitting there, and then out in the woods you just hear this really long, steady like wee for like a few seconds there, and then that's it. The ones they have in Japan, it's like wee. Like this is really, like
we
what the hell is that?
We have some like that here. Oh
yes.
My god, those are
annoying. Man, last year it was driving me insane. Holy hell!
They said there's supposed to be some kind of new breed that's coming out this year. Some
actually,
another rare event.
it's a brood, and there's two of them coming. The 13 and the 17-year cicadas are coming out in the same season. And it only happens every 263 years or something like that.
Oh,
And
boy.
yeah, so in the last time it happened, 2 times ago I was in college, and then the time before that I was teaching at the same university, and it's right across the street from a forest reserve. You get pelted when you're driving down the street. They're banging on your cars. Like I literally get out of my car. I'm like, okay, thank God, I just need to run into the building. I'm walking down the parking lot, and they're like dropping out of the trees and bouncing off my head. You get to the door, and you literally have to like take a folder out of your backpack and scrape them off the door in order to open the door, because I just can't touch them.
And they might only scream for a few seconds, but there's so many of them, it just never fucking stops.
Yeah, it's a steady wave of
Lovely.
and they're evil looking things too.
Yep.
Yeah,
they look
Big
evil.
orange
Yeah.
eyes.
They're harmless.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the dog, though. I mean, she is picking up everything, even when we just take a short walk now, and it's just, dead leaves and stuff. She's going to be bringing home carcasses.
She's gonna eat those things up.
Yeah, you gotta train her how to heel. I know she's young, but keep her by your side. They shouldn't be in front. They shouldn't be behind. They should be right at your side. But I wanted to show for some of the people who are kind of unaware of the atmosphere and just how everything is. I think it's gorgeous how they did this entire series. The sets are beautiful. Cinematography is out of this world. Especially if you love the Japanese culture on any level, I think you're really going to appreciate the series. And even the fabrics and the clothes that they use, like every aspect of this thing is breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. The attacks that they've had too. Oh wait, we have a guest in the back. Remember, we're still on YouTube as well, but we have Kathleen, the psychopath here.
I just wanted to say that I am very sad about the lack of representation in this Shogun show. Okay, there needs to be more Black Americans in it and Latinx people. Yes, put a chick in it and make her very gay. You're all bigots.
They totally should have cast.
Not just gay, very gay.
Very.
Oh man, yeah.
Wouldn't this technically be a Disney production if it's FX, which is under the Fox license?
It definitely needs a Mary Sue.
Yeah,
I
yes,
think
it does.
But they said there's so much Japanese influence throughout the entire show and the production of it. It's weird. It's weird how some things that they actually let through properly and to tell.
It's not the same Japan it used to be.
Yeah.
well, that's. Oh, go ahead.
That was my biggest concern when watching this. It was like, okay, what are they going to do? What are they going to gay up? Are they going to throw because there was only a handful of black, and I'm not talking about African Americans. I'm talking about just black people in Japan. The most famous being Yasuke, who was a retainer for Tokugawa. But at least I think it was Tokugawa. But it was you could count all of the black people in Japan on one hand and still have some change. Mm-hmm. And it's thoroughly disgusting that Ubisoft decided to go with Black Samurai for their next, for their Sengoku period Assassin's Creed game. That freaking boils my blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's Ubisoft. That's
Let's walk around inconspicuous in a crowd. Hi, I'm a 6 foot tall black guy in a small Asian country where everybody's like 5'3".
Yeah, unless he's crouched down and he's wearing something to hide completely. But it's
walking around on his knees.
Ubisoft, they're brain dead. I think we know that at this point. But you're not seeing any of that stuff on this television series. And like I said, the people that are behind it, whatever deals that they cut and whatever they signed, Hiro Sanada, he's making sure that everything is as accurate as possible, and as close to historical kind of certain aspects of it. Obviously, it's not going to be balls to the wall, absolutely identical to what happened back then. We're talking hundreds of years ago. The character he's playing, like that dude alone, like what he ended up making peace for Japan for like 260 plus years.
Yeah, dude. Like, so it's funny because Tokyo is named after Tokugawa Ieyasu. Like like they turned Edo, which it wasn't even the capital of Japan. That was Kyoto. So they moved the capital. Like that's how much of a badass this guy was.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And yeah, and he's known for his cunning.
Yep.
He's a strategist. He plans properly. There's something that happens in the start of episode 3 that's pretty damn cool. Kind of like sleight of hand, kind of. I guess you would say trickery. I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it yet. That's why I'm not getting too much into the details of it. But it's well acted. The story is super solid. If you guys haven't seen it, like I said, please jump on it. I'm going to be happy that you did. And we're going to be covering more of these episodes and stuff.
What streaming service is that on?
Right now, Hulu and FX. You should be able to watch them on those.
Dude, and not only that, but like, so we've seen like little skirmishes here and there, but if you're a history nerd or a weeb, then you know that the big daddy Super Bowl that's going to happen, the Battle of Sekigahara, which was the decisive kind of turning point in the warring states.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to make, I hope to God they pull it off, because if they can, like, we're going to see something at the levels of like Akira Kurosawa's like epic samurai battles. Like,
oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be huge. Sekigahara is freaking like a huge ass battle.
And I am expecting it to be pretty amazing, because they said even the armor on this series, they designed it in a way where it's ultra light. Most of the armor, they actually used leather in order to make it. And the lead actor and stuff, he said it. He goes, "This is the lightest armor because I've done a ton of different movies, samurai movies and stuff like that, and this is the lightest armor I've ever had to work with, and it was so comfortable." He goes, especially in our big battles. So when he said that, I'm like, yes, I think they're going to do it, and they're going to do it properly. So fingers are crossed. Looking forward to it. This is going to be about, I think, 10 episodes.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So even if it is only the one season, I think they have the proper story to tell. So that's going to be fun. And like I said too, man, the casting is phenomenal. The dude here who plays the Englishman, Blackthorn, holy crap, what a fantastic actor. I was pretty surprised, because going into this, I kind of went into it blind. I vaguely remember the TV series back in the day. I was young, and it was, again, freaking a couple decades ago. So it's I don't remember everything, but I remember bits and pieces. For what they brought to the table here, pretty damn amazing. He's got a great scene in that episode 3 as well, where he flips out about the virtue of a woman that's being.
I don't know what the barbarian is saying.
Holy crap, that was a great scene. That was really good. And like I said, man, this cast is solid. We have some of the actors as well that were in the Godzilla TV series. This chick here, it was Anna Siwa or C.
Yeah,
something along those lines.
I like her version of Mariko, even, and again, I'm not feminist or girl power stuff, but I like the mini changes.
How dare you?
How dare you? But yeah, no, she did a great job. And yeah, she's basically she ends up being like the translator, because she's taught Portuguese through like through the Christians and whatnot. And
is she gay?
She's
Translator. I thought you said I was
translator.
The Transformers.
not a transformer, a translator.
Later on in the episode, she decides to like Mulan it up and
no.
Okay.
Did you notice
translator as in like language? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice how the Christians renamed her, and as the story progresses, she kind of goes back to her real name?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Portuguese, like that. So the Jesuits there, the Portuguese kept calling her Maria because that was her Christian name, and they don't really go into it in the new series, but there's a part where a guy calls her Mari, or because he's on, Mari is a Japanese name, but like Mariko, they add the ko to the end of okay, here's a sexist point for you. Ko is added to a woman's name because ko means hope that's the last of them. they
Oh my
generally
gosh.
when they have a daughter and they like Yoriko, Haniko, Mariko, the ko means okay, hopefully the next one will be a son. So
Here, and I was
yeah.
here. I was
Wow.
hoping it was Russian because, like, when I worked for a Russian Jewish refugee nonprofit when I got out of college, they
Mhm.
kept calling me Tanishka because adding ishka to the end of a name is kind of like a term of endearment.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
So here I was going the wrong way with that.
Well, they do have a term. So if you, and again to go back to when Mariko, when she makes a point for the English guy to call her something, and it was like, wow, she said that incredibly rudely, and there's a reason for that because there is a term, but it's not really in endearment so much as reverence.
Mhm.
So like you know how
okay.
like in Karate Kid when Pat Morita's character Miyagi goes Daniel's son, and he calls the san. You know, san means like Mister, or it's like a or Mrs. You know, it's like a term of like respect.
Yep.
But there's another term that you refer to people like you never call your boss something san because these people are above you in the hierarchy.
Right.
You add the word sama. So you say like
okay.
she's like, you shall call me Mariko sama from this point forward, and she says it like very like I will murder you if you do not. And I'm like,
very sternly. Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
That's great. Yeah. And then she's kind of her husband kind of puts her in her place as well, and you can see he's very disrespectful towards her. But then you see he does something very heroic in the episode as well.
Badass.
Very badass. And like you could see you could see from a character that when they introduce him, it's like you want to hate him, and then he comes to this realization. It's like, oh yeah, no, what's going on right now? What's happening? This has to be done. This is too important. Yeah. And then he becomes a very heroic character in the episode as well. And you're like, oh shit.
Well, that, and they don't like you mentioned like this has to be done. There's a really good point that I'd love that I want to hammer into this. That's they're not like white man bad, Asian people good like you'd expect in modern day stuff.
Yeah,
they show you the ugly side of Japanese feudalism, where this guy speaks out of term, and Toranaga is like, you insult me. Well, you know, basically like they're playing their court ballet with verbal sparring or whatever. And the guy who spoke out of turn because his master was being threatened or whatever, he wasn't speaking out of turn. He was being legit. And but they, in order to save face, in order to play the chess moves, they made it sound like this guy was like some hothead dumbass.
Yeah, being disrespectful, and to the point where
the penalty was he literally committed seppuku, which, you know, they cut off his head or whatever, but they terminated his family line. And the wife that Mariko here had to like comfort and basically convince, because she was going to off herself too, was no, you have a bigger purpose. We need to keep you around. But your baby that you're holding, yeah, it's dead. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well either choose to live or make this more difficult. Like, so this guy, for just, you know, protecting his lord, not only did he get himself offed, but he got his child, his infant kid, who had nothing to do with any of this, offed too. And it's like, oh, I guess they're not doing the dirty, evil Europeans and everything is perfect in Asia land. Like,
right. Right, which is funny too because they referred to him as the barbarian for a good chunk of the first couple of episodes. But it's also the nature of him and what they find out about him. Because he's basically he's a pirate and he's pretending to be like a regular merchant, and they find his logs and the horrible, heinous shit that he's done as well. But he's also there because he is trying to establish a proper trade over there, and he knows that they could use them for their resources and whatnot. And what's going on right now with Portugal is very, very dangerous, and they want to put a stop to them in Spain. And it's cool. Again, if you're a history buff on any level, and you're kind of interested in what's going on over there, I'm telling you, it's a very, very strong series. Incredible acting throughout. And the parts where she's supposed to be translating from Portuguese, because the Englishman, he understands and speaks Portuguese, and that's what she was taught from the Christians. That's how they're communicating, and it's great too because most of the other people who he was trying to give like his story to or whatever, they were twisting his words and making him look like a bigger scumbag or a douchebag, and he knew it too. He's like, they're not saying what I'm saying. They're making me out to be a complete villain because they want to off me.
Yep. Because they're all puppets.
They're all puppets, and he's very dangerous to what's going on there. And again, he's based on a real guy. I keep forgetting his last name, but his first name was William. And the actual guy in history, he was given some amazing. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it. People, we watched the series, and you'll find out more. But yeah, it's incredible, and yeah, the real life guy, it's kind of loosely based on. He was awarded some pretty high honors. Again, in a country that you would never expect. But again, this is based off the novel, so there are some changes from history and everything else. I got to say a big thank you to the people out there on X. We have 40 people watching on X. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, remember to hit like and subscribe and all that great stuff you got to do on whatever platform you're watching it on right now. Like I said, we're on 3 different platforms at the moment. Tony Tone Deaf in the house as well. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's crazy stuff that's going on out there in just in the world and in general. But that's why we're trying to hit some of like the cooler topics and more interesting things that we're kind of seeing, because it's not easy to find good shows and movies nowadays. You know?
Okay, is it more like 13 Assassins, that movie, or is it more of a historical drama?
More historical, but again, there are some very brutal and crazy things that does happen in the story.
Okay, would you say it's as entertaining as 13 Assassins? I mean, obviously, I know it's not going to be like an action-packed thrill ride all the way through like that movie, but
it has you could say it's got like moments of like Game of Thrones type stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's like, well, obviously no dragons, but I mean, you know, the type of things that these people in these positions of power and what they're doing to kind of make their play. They, again, like Chris was saying too, they off some characters in pretty brutal ways as well. But there's a bigger thing that's happening, and going into the next episode, the 4th episode should be a lot bigger as well, because there's something that had to be done in that 3rd one to kind of progress the story in a big way. And yeah, there's a battle that happens, like a little battle that happens in that episode that's pretty damn cool. And you get to see some of the main characters, you know, kicking ass as well. It's solid. It is very, very solid. And like I said, these guys, they all do a fantastic job. Absolutely epic. The intro is beautiful too, how they did it with the CGI stuff, and it kind of starts like this kind of calmness, and then it starts to get into this big battle, and then you see like this giant like samurai head popping out in between like, you know, the Japanese like castles, and like busting through. Like, it's very beautiful how they did everything in here, but it also shows you like how calm and kind of almost slow paced at first, and then it blows up to something bigger. And like Chris was saying too, there's a pretty damn big epic battle that's going to be taking place. So yeah, it's highly recommended if you're into any of that type of stuff.
Oh yes, blow up like Hiroshima.
Yeah, it's yeah. Oh my god, I love it. And if you've ever played like Ghost of Tsushima,
yes.
you're gonna be all over this.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I just got done with that a couple of months ago. Fantastic game. I want to play it in Kurosawa mode next, black and white, with just red for blood and blossoms. Yeah, did you know you could do that? That you could play it in black and white with just red tones?
I heard there's like a director's cut or something too on that, where they gave even more options and stuff.
It gave me that option right at the beginning. Maybe it's a PS4 thing.
I think so. I have it on PS4. It's been a minute since I played it though, but I cleared through it. I didn't do it a second time around, but I'm telling you, man, it's awesome. It really is. And there's something that happens when an assassin in episode 2, which is pretty amazing. Chris and I talked about that the other day, which it's a little bit different than kind of what happens in the book and in the original series, but it's nothing that hurt anything either. But Chris did have to run, by the way. So, but yeah, again, thank you, Chris, so much for the great info that you dropped to on this and kind of explaining it for people in a proper way. Because again, he's got a lot more knowledge of like the background and stuff of Japan.
We love you, Chris.
Yeah, was that
Yes,
part of
Chris.
his job when he lived in Japan, like studying Japanese history? Because he's definitely a fountain of knowledge on it.
Oh, he was working on something too that I'm not going to say what it was, but next time he's on, yeah, we'll get more into that too if he's cool with talking about that. Because
I'll let the cat out of the bag. He lived on Cat Island and wrote a book about the cats.
Oh, have you guys heard of Bunny Island?
Bunny Island?
Yeah, the Japanese fucking they had a testing facility where they were using rabbits and they were doing horrible experiments on them, the Japanese imperialists in World War II. And they had to abandon the facility, and the bunnies got out of their cages, rats and nymphs style, and started just breeding and breeding.
Wow.
Sorry. And now, yeah, there's plenty of food on the island. There's fresh water on the island. The bunnies found it, and they've been breeding there. And there's a couple of million of them on this small island, you know, like the size of a quarter of Rhode Island. And people go there and feed the bunnies and let the bunnies walk all over them. And yeah, it's nuts. It's a tourist trap now.
That's pretty hilarious.
Okay, I don't know that I can. Okunoshima.
Bless you.
That's the name of the island, I guess.
There you go.
Gateway to Rabbit Island.
Oh, nice.
Here I thought he was like moonlighting as a kaiju hunter.
They're so precious. I want a rabbit bunny.
Oh
my god, I'm so hungry now.
Bunnyzilla.
That's awesome.
My inner lizard's coming out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm looking at some of these images and I'm just absolutely terrified because I'm allergic to rabbits. Like I have cats, and some of these images are like, oh my god, I would die if I went here.
Yeah, they'll lay on the ground and they'll put rabbit feed all over their tummy, and the rabbits will just swarm them. They don't bite them or anything, but yeah.
They're pretty notorious for giving you pinworms too. So there's that.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, folks, yeah, we're gonna jump over to the Rumble portion. We're gonna stay on Twitter as well, but we're gonna remove the YouTube portion. So yeah, for everyone who's on YouTube, either run on over to Rumble or Twitter. Because yeah, we're gonna continue our conversation over there and start talking about some of the stuff that's kind of going on in the world.
Yeah, piss off YouTube.
Yeah, just for a little bit. And like I said, we're probably not going to have time to go into depth with the Gargoyles stuff, but we're going to start getting into that more as well. Like I said, maybe we'll break down a few episodes or like kind of in chunks. 'Cause it's a fun series and it's something that, you know, again, one of the last good things.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube, we're going to say goodbye to you now. So